Hello, my name is Russell Preston Brown, and this tutorial is all about setting up the Ricoh Theta Z1 for your very first 360-degree capture. I want to go through the basics here on my iPhone for the settings that I like to use, and also the settings I like to use over here for my physical setup of my tripod. And check this out. What's this? Right here at the base of my 360 camera is an old CD cover that I've taken apart and added here to the base. Why did I add this? I added this so I don't crack the lens. So this is the first thing you need to learn about this camera before you go out and take your first shot. Find yourself a CD cover or something similar so that when this falls over, and it will, it hits the ground but not the lens. Wow, this is the most delicate part of this setup, and to protect that is super important. So that is super hint number one. Find some way of protecting your lens here on your monopod. Okay, let's go ahead and start up my Ricoh Theta Z1 by tapping on the startup button. I've gone through the basic setup already. You followed step number one, and you've set this up and you've linked it to your iPhone or to your Android phone. I'm going to go ahead and start up my phone over here, and here you can see my application, the Theta application on my iPhone. I'm going to tap on that. Since I've connected these earlier following the instructions online, I can now tap here at the base. Check this out. I'm going to switch over to my phone, tap here at the base, and I can go in and select here at the top the ID for my particular Theta. Each Theta has its own ID and it's listed here, and I can join. So of course, once again, I followed the initial steps of setting this all up, and I can now join this. Check this out. Here over on the Z1, there's a small indicator for the Wi-Fi. It will stop pulsing when you've made a connection. Now you've got a connection right between your phone and the Z1, and you can see the display. Now, I'm going to switch back to the office now, where I'm going to go through all of the details of the setup for the Ricoh Theta Z1 for my first 360-degree shot. Let's go back to the studio and let's zero right in here on the interface on my phone. Let's go. Okay, we're back here in the studio. The goal of this tutorial is to make sure that your first tiny planet image is successful. So I'm going to go through the basics of capturing your first photograph and keeping things really simple. First, here I am on my iPhone, and I'm going to repeat this from my earlier discussion, but I'm going to tap once again here on my Theta icon here on my iPhone. I have previously followed the steps found on my website for connecting my iPhone to my Ricoh Theta Z1. I've done that already. Then when I tap down here at the base, right here on this icon, I can then connect to the camera that I previously set up. This is my serial number for my particular phone. Tapping on that, I can then connect to the phone and join the phone. Now, many things can go wrong at this time, and I want to prepare you for that fact if you get a message that says you cannot connect. My connection was successful because I see the image here. But if you're not successful, the way to correct this is to first attempt a second try at starting it up. If that fails, then you may have to restart your iPhone or restart the Ricoh Theta Z1. It's that simple. Sometimes it just needs to be restarted and then it will connect. Don't be frustrated if you can't make the connection here. Just restart your device. It usually works. Next, let's talk about the basics. I want to get a single JPEG image that I can work with here on my phone to capture my first really great tiny planet. It all starts with this interface. Here you can see I'm currently set in the auto mode. Everything looks pretty good. I'm set in the camera mode here at the top for a still image and not a video image, as you can see over in this icon. Make sure you're in the camera mode. Then here in the upper right hand corner, right here on the gear, we can tap on the gear, and this is where we can set things up. When you set these settings here, they are recorded and stored and held in the memory so that the next time you start up the camera, it will have these same settings. It all starts here at the top with shooting method. Tapping on shooting method, we need to be in the normal shooting mode right at the top. You have other selections, but in this first tutorial, we're going to talk about normal shooting. Next, below that, you can see display after shooting. I sometimes will turn that on if I immediately want to see the results right after I've taken the photograph. However, I find it's distracting and it doesn't allow you to take multiple photographs immediately. It's interesting, perhaps, to see the results, but I recommend leave it off. Next, self-timer. I definitely recommend that you put your device on a 10-second self-timer, right there. This will allow you to push the button and then walk away or position yourself within your own tiny planet image. And you can watch some of my tutorials that demonstrate this process. Camera visibility is our next one. Leave that on. This will then hide the camera. It will diminish the amount of the camera that you see within the image. Next, down here, I'm going to go right to File Format. This is key. For the first photograph we're going to be taking in this project, I recommend shifting it to JPEG only. Now, some of you may argue with me that you should be capturing your DNG and JPEG, but for this first shot, the basic shot, the easiest thing is to set it for JPEG. You're going to get great results. The file size might be a little smaller, but this is your first photograph, and when you graduate beyond your first photograph, you can then capture a DNG and a JPEG. Next, down here, you'll notice number of possible shots. This indicates the number of photographs you can take within the 19 megabytes of storage built into your device. That's right, there's only 19 megabytes of storage on the Ricoh Theta Z1. This memory is built into the camera. You cannot take it out with a card of any sort. You have to access the internal memory through your phone or by plugging it into your desktop computer. Okay, for our first photograph, we have set everything up perfectly here. We're going to select Done. Back here, we can see our image of the garden. We can see all of our settings, and we can see our trigger down here at the bottom, the white button. But before we do that, I want to demonstrate one more thing to get your perfect first shot. Right here under Auto, I'm going to tap on Auto, and you'll notice that it's currently set in the automatic exposure mode right there. You have the ability to do aperture priority, shutter priority, ISO priority, or total manual control. But we're not going to do that today because the auto setting that I've selected will work great. Let's not worry about all of the manual controls that we can set up to get even more accurate imagery, but for this project, it's going to be great. And I'm going to show you the one final thing that's going to make it even better. Take note, listen carefully. In any daytime setting, I usually set my exposure compensation right over here. I tap on this, and then I can adjust it and compensate for existing exposures. This is a really simple way of adjusting the exposure without having to go into the manual mode. I get great results. If I go outside and it is sunny, listen carefully. I typically set it to a minus 0.7. Check that out. I slid this over with my finger to a minus 0.7. It will then compensate for the existing exposure and make it slightly darker. This then will allow you to capture some great detail in the sky. Your areas in the shadow will be slightly darker, but wait for it, you can open those areas up inside of Lightroom on your phone or on your iPad or even on your desktop. So this little compensation for outdoor sunny scenes, which I recommend for your first shot, can be adjusted with that setting. This is a great setting for any outdoor sunny scene, minus 0.7. Fantastic. You have now set your camera to the exact settings that Russell Brown recommends for your very first shot. It is a single JPEG image. It is set to the auto mode over here to the right, automatic exposure, and Mr. Brown recommends the minus 0.7 in a sunny situation. Everything looks good. You now tap here on the screen, here at the base, and you get your countdown. 7, 6, 5. You're getting into position. You're going to be ready for this shot, and boom. It has now saved your image onto the camera. To see that image, we're going to tap here on this icon in the left-hand corner, right there. It will then download a preview of your captured images here on your phone. You have not transferred them to your phone yet until you tap on it. I'm going to tap on the JPEG image right there. It has now downloaded the JPEG image to my phone. It is physically on the phone and it's on the camera. There's a copy that's being sent over. I can now tap and move this around and see the scene that I just captured here in the garden. Wow. And you can see in this particular scene why I set it to a minus 0.07 so that I can get some detail in the sky and some detail in the shadows. This looks great. We have captured our first image that we can turn into a tiny planet. And you're now going to go back to your desktop here on my phone, and there it is. The second application that's most important for this class is the Theta Plus application here on my phone. Of course, you've downloaded these two earlier, but I'm going to tap on the Theta Plus application right there. It's going to check for new images within my device, and look at this. Here is the image from today. I'm going to tap on that image, and then I'm going to edit the still image. Wait for it. Boom, there it is. Now, keep in mind, I'm going directly from the camera to the Theta Plus software to create my tiny planet, but if I wanted to make adjustments in Lightroom, I would first do that in Lightroom, and I would follow along some of Mr. Brown's fantastic tutorials on that subject, and then I would put it back on my phone or on my iPad. This particular application, which we're using in class, only runs on your iPad, your iPhone, or your Android phone. Now you know. With this image seen here on the screen, we tap on Edit. And here it comes. We tap on Little Planet right here, or as I'm calling them, Tiny Planet. And check it out. I can now tap on the screen and move this around. I can pinch to move in and out and see my tiny planet. This is a great application. Notice how I can then tap and drag and reverse the tiny planet so that I'm in the foreground, the sky's up here at the top. You have such an amazing variety of ways that you can adjust this. But ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, you
have successfully made your first tiny planet directly from the camera to your phone and placed it here into the Theta Plus software. This looks great, but of course, if you take this equirectangular image that you've captured from your Ricoh Theta Z1 and you process it inside of Lightroom on your phone or on your desktop or on your iPad, you can then get even better results. For example, opening up the shadows or increasing the saturation to your image, or maybe you want to turn it to black and white. You can also do some retouching, for example, and remove this circular disc that I added to my tripod to protect my camera from cracking the lens when it falls over. There you have it, Russell Brown's basics to your very first photograph here on your Ricoh Theta Z1. Give it a try.